Hi guys, it's me Gabby from Probocolic, and today I will be reviewing Pretties by Scott Westerfeld. This is the second book in the Uglies series, and of course the first one being Uglies. I read Uglies in 2015 and I really did enjoy it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I was very intrigued to read the second one. I'll post down below my review on this one, and today I will be talking what happens in the second book. So therefore, if you haven't started this series, I recommend you start. And if you have read the first and the second one, you're more than welcome to stay and hear what I have to say about Pretties. So this book begins with Tally and Shay trying to find a costume for the upcoming party. And for me, personally, it was kind of confusing what was going on. At first, I thought it was because I read the first book a few months ago and maybe I have forgotten what happened, but it's just the characters that I had grown attached to weren't the same, and it took me like 20 pages to get into the book because it was kind of strange. And Tally and Shay had this very, very strange way of talking that I really was annoyed by. They would say like, this is bogus, or let's be bubbly, or that's pretty making, that's ugly making, or something like that. And I, like, what in God's name are you talking about? So yeah, this book, the beginning was kind of strange for me, but as I read more of it, I got used to it, and like I realized that that's the point of the book, like the point of seeing the difference between uglies, people who are normal, and people who have had the operation and have the lesions. So then we understand about this like group of people, new pretties, who are called the crims or the criminals because they don't have enough time to say the whole name. So they were troublemakers when they're ugly, so now they are like a whole organization and they have parties and they try to stay bubbly and annoying. Yes, so there's this party and they go, Tally and Shay go to the party of the Crims, and Tally's kind of afraid that she's not going to be accepted by the Crims because it's like her judgment day if she's going to get in the group or not. And then Corey comes, and he's from Tally's past when she was in Smoke and when she was like a normal person who I enjoyed reading about. And he tells her like to read a letter that is in some room, and yeah, and then she goes to find that room, but a guy comes with her, and his name is Zane. And at first, I was a bit skeptical. I honestly wasn't sure if he isn't one of the specials, because I mean, he comes out of nowhere, and suddenly we're in love with him. Like Tally's in love with him, and I like David. Like I could understand why she liked him. There was a connection, and with Zane, it was just instantaneous. They were in love, and he kissed her, I think. But as the story progressed, I kind of got used to him. Like I like him as a character, but I don't think that I like him being with Tally. So then we have this moment where Tally and Zane found the pills and the specials are coming and they didn't know what to do. And I'm like, just one of you take the 2 pills, and then whatever happens, that one person will help out the other. But no, Tally's stupid and I don't know, she can't think straight because of the surgery, and she decides to give 1 pill to Zane and 1 for herself. And I'm like, what? And I mean, it was kind of like, it wasn't that hard to figure out that something would go wrong. I didn't expect it to be like as big of a deal as it actually turned out to be, because in the end we find out that Zane has this brain damage, and I honestly thought that the headaches were just a normal thing, like because you have lesions, and in order for those lesions to disappear, your head has to hurt. I just thought that because he was a pretty much longer than Tally, that's the reason why he has these headaches. I didn't think that the pills were different. I just thought that they will have a different, like, they have to be taken 2 in order to have the effect, and now they have it in, like, split in 2, like half of the effect. But no, it turns out that Tally never actually got cured. She cured herself without any pills, which is kind of amazing, and it shows that you don't always need a cure to take care of yourself and to be strong. And I did like that message. So when Tali and her friends are finally escaping the city, I was so happy because I thought they're going to go to smoke and everything will be fine, and in the next book they're going to start rebelling against the city and maybe take it out or something like that. But no, Tali starts talking to her friend and he chickens out, and we figure out that he's not actually her friend, and she jumps into a river and then goes to some kind of a resort or a cage or something like that. And there she meets these people who are think that she's a goddess, but I don't know, that whole part was so out of place for me. I really like it. Was well written like everything else because Scott Westerfeld is an amazing writer, but I just couldn't picture it, couldn't figure it out. It didn't go well with the story, if you know what I mean. And then I think that we're going to have these communities in the next books, because the last thing the Holy Man said was, like, we're going to wait for you, so I guess she's going to go back. But still, in this book, when she knows that Zane isn't alright, she knows that the smokies might die and stuff like that, and it's very intense, and she goes in the middle of nowhere. And I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars, and one of the main reasons is that we have the first book, which is Tali realizing that the government is bad. Her friend escapes, so she follows, and then she betrays them, and then she is forced to go back. And in the second book, we have Tali realizing that the government is bad again. Then she realizes that she has to escape because her friend has bad headaches, so she escapes, and then she finds him afterwards, and then her friend betrays them and she has to go back, which is basically almost the same plot line. Like, I did enjoy this book, and the rating doesn't really respond to that, but it's just that it was the same thing once again. And I really liked how this book ended, because now Tali is going to be a special, and she's probably going to go after the Smokies and after David, who I really like, and I want them to end up together, and I hope they would. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I did enjoy this book. It had amazing writing and, of course, character development, and the dialogue was, like, it seemed realistic. I like this book. No, it's not the only, but the main thing I didn't like is that it's very similar as a plot structure to the first one, and I expected it to be more, and it wasn't. That's why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars and not 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed reading about Tali and her bubbly life.